I had a heated discussion with the guy or the guy from the company that's actually installing the kitchen. First of all, when he said that they would come on the 6th of June, I just got absolutely livid with them, fed up, and I then, there was a 5-second pause in conversation, and then I just killed the conversation. Well, he called back in about 5 minutes and said that you can't talk to us like that, that's think about what you're, and then he said that, well, let's see if we're coming or not. And we were like, oh man, this is not gonna go. Or the whole thing started because they kind of left us in the impression that after the asbestos install, they have moved our installation to the 6th of June. So I was like, what? I just spent 7 days. This is how we live. So we have the table in the living room absolutely horrible. We can't cook anything. We have we have 2 hot plates that are fairly insufficient. We can just boil pasta basically, or potatoes, but that's about it. But anyway, then about an hour later, then the guy called and said, would you be all right if the guy comes in and installs it today? And he came 7:30 and we've already gotten this far. So that's going to be our new fridge there. Then cupboards. This is the new sink, which is glued into this thing. That's going to be obviously hidden. There's going to be our gas bottle in there, and finally there's going to be our deep freezer. So for a minute I thought that I made a mistake, that I talked too harshly to the guy for kicking our installation back by a week. But then, now looking at it later on, it proved to be the right thing to do, to actually be strong-worded with him. Maybe we'll have a kitchen by the end of the week. So now, all the equipment, not all, the induction stove hasn't been hooked up yet, but everything else seems to be in place. And the final thing that I installed today was the gas stove here, as you can hear. And I've hooked up this gas bottle. By the way, those are horribly expensive. It cost me €160 to get the gas regulator, the gas bottle, and the tube. It's €160. That's horribly expensive. And then I asked for am I getting anything back when I return it? And they said, not really. You get €30 when you return it. But the refill, it is only it's only €30, so it isn't that bad. So all the equipment is hidden. So in here we have a dishwasher. Yeah, they gave us the wrong handles. They're copper, and we ordered brushed steel. And here we have the fridge. He lifted up himself. Impressive feat. And then on this side we have a freezer, or deep freezer. I don't know what it's called. And then this oven here it doubles as a microwave. We have a bit of studying to do to see how that happens. But anyway, it's... And then the tiling, it was put on today. Obviously, it hasn't... The seams have not been filled yet. But that's what the tiling looks like. And then they have this... What do you call it? Protective material from transport. So that needs to be cleaned. So, looking good. Oh yeah, the gas stove thing. It's an absolute pain. When you get them from Germany, Germany is operated on natural gas, and in Finland we use liquid gas. What the difference in this is that the liquid gas uses a different pressure, which then has a different nozzle size, and I've actually changed into that. I've changed the nozzles in those to be a liquid gas nozzle, and even the liquid gas nozzle that they sent over, they were for, was it 50 psi, and the normal regulators that you get from a gas station, I have one here, this one here, they only give 30 psi. So basically the regulator that I have on top of that bottle, it's not supposed to be used in-house, given that it produces 50 psi, but this is what I'm using. And what do you call it? It's going to go in that cupboard. But now I want to test thing. I need to find matches to see if I can get that to work. I'm just an average man with an average life. I work from 9 to 5. So what do you think of the new stove?
I think it's nice.
Nice? Very lame?
Yeah.
But yeah, I tested it. I had to pull an electric cord, and it has a neat system in it where when you have it off and you turn it on, you press it down and you turn it. Oh, what is it doing now? Huh. Yeah, you hear that clicking sound. It starts generating sparks. That's maximum power. That's minimum. And I switched the nozzles. I can show you what... I'll turn these off. I'll show you what the nozzles look like. And they are not the biggest things in the world. So that there is a nozzle for natural gas. So the size is slightly bigger, the hole in it. Whereas liquid gas, the nozzle size is a bit smaller. But I know it works. But why do I always feel like I'm in the twilight zone, and I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no kitchen renovations continue. We have a plumber upstairs, and he had bad news in the sense that the faucet that we had bought, it does not have a separate outlet for the dishwasher. So now we're going to have a small thing in our washing basin, which is not good. It destroys our kitchen. But we have the option of actually seeing if we can find it black later on. But you never know, will you ever find it? Because he didn't know of any place that does those. So we need to search a little for it. But now, in order to get it up and running in the kitchen, we are going to install a chrome version there. I notice now that I'm converting my videos that I tend to be long-winded and ramble a lot. So in order to prevent that, I will now, and I don't have so much to say because I think my condition is stabilized a lot. I have good days and I have bad days, but you know, today is a fairly alright day. But yesterday we had our 20th anniversary, day before yesterday, and we shared a bottle of red wine, and I had a whiskey, a single malt whiskey. You know, they sell these small bottles, and I had half a bottle of red wine and I had the small whiskey, and oh man, my hair was hurting me, and I must have woken up 4:30 and I just could not get to sleep. And the next day, that's one thing that this disease brings, is uncertainty about everything. I was just feeling gutted about everything. All bad things in my life, or the potential of bad, it was more pronounced than it has to be. So I was having a hard time relating to it. But regardless of me being unable to worry about my future, Jesus Christ is King, and He repeatedly commands us to don't worry. God takes care of, you know, birds and beasts, so why wouldn't He look after you? And this is something that I need to align myself to. Jesus is King.